The Melchizedek Studies, Part 2, The Melchizedek Focus. This narration explores the theological center of the Melchizedek Studies, the identity and eternal priesthood of Melchizedek. Within the framework of divine agency, Melchizedek is revealed as the pre-incarnate manifestation of the Son, the supreme agent, priest, and king of the Most High God. This study draws from Genesis, Psalms, Hebrews, and the Book of Enoch to demonstrate that Melchizedek is not symbolic or typological but an explicit revelation of the Son functioning in his eternal mediatorial capace. The analysis begins with 12 foundational passages that exhibit the non-random principle of mediated authority. From the Exodus angel who bears the divine name to the Son who receives all judgment, each instance reflects the same structure. The Father as principle, the Son as agent, and the divine will executed through representation. This pattern defines the theological backdrop for understanding Melchizedek's order. In Exodus, HWH sends his angel to guard Israel and bring them into the promised place, declaring, "My name is in him." This angel bears divine identity yet remains distinct from HWH himself, revealing the principle that the sent one carries the authority of the sender. In Numbers, the same angel leads Israel from bondage. Isaiah calls him the angel of his presence who saved them. The same structure appears in the giving of the law. It was ordained through angels in the hand of a mediator, Moses. All of. At the apex of mediation stands the Son, the supreme agent. John records, "The Father judges no one, but has committed all judgment to the Son." Matthew confirms, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me." The delegation of judgment and authority culminates in the Son, who exercises divine rule as the authorized representative of the Father. This revelation prepares the reader for the identification of Melchizedek as the pre-incarnate Son. The agency model explains the relational dynamics behind these texts. The Father alone is the UN-derived source of existence and authority, the one God of Israel. The Son is the derived but eternal agent through whom the Father acts. In Hebrew legal thought, the agent is as the one who sent him. The Shaliach principle affirms that to receive the agent is to receive the sender. Thus, to honor the Son is to honor the Father. The unity of Father and Son is functional and relational. Complete representation are. Having established the theological framework, the narrative now turns to the Melchizedekian corpus. In Genesis 14, Melchizedek, king of Salem and priest of the Most High God, meets Abraham returning from battle, brings forth bread and wine, blesses him, and receives tithes from him. The passage provides 4 extraordinary features. First, Melchizedek combines kingship and priesthood in one person, a union otherwise forbidden in Israel's later history. Second, he is superior to Abraham, for the less. Psalm 110 deepens this revelation. The psalm begins, "HWH said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool." Here David, himself Israel's king, addresses another whom he calls his Lord. HWH's oath that this Lord is a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek establishes both the permanence and the divine origin of this priesthood. The Lord at HWH's right hand is exalted to divine authority, yet distinct from HWH who enthrones him. The oath makes this priest. The epistle to the Hebrews elaborates this mystery. Chapter 7 describes Melchizedek as without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abiding a priest continually. The author presents Melchizedek not as an earthly man lacking genealogy but as one whose existence transcends human boundaries. His priesthood is not derived from lineage but from the power of an endless life. This description applies only to the eternal. Hebrews contrasts the temporary, genealogical Levitical system with the eternal Melchizedekian order. The former was governed by the law of a carnal commandment, the latter operates by the power of endless life. Levitical priests were many, prevented by death from continuing. The Melchizedekian priest continues forever, holding an unchangeable priesthood. His ministry is founded on divine oath, not hereditary law. The oath, "Thou art a priest forever," anchors the priesthood's permanence. In applying this to Joshua the Messiah, the author of Hebrews declares that Jesus is made a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. The identification is explicit. Melchizedek's eternal priesthood finds its fulfillment in the incarnate Son. The priest who met Abraham is the same who, in time, offered himself on the cross. The bread and wine offered to Abraham foreshadow the body and blood offered for the world. The continuity is perfect, the same eternal priest acting across dispensations of revelatio. The implications of this identification are profound. First, the Melchizedekian priesthood unites all divine offices, prophet, priest, and king, within one person. Second, it reveals the eternal nature of mediation. Divine action is always executed through the Son. Third, it redefines atonement, replacing the blood of animals with the sinless blood of the heavenly man. The second Adam revelation thus converges with the Melchizedek revelation. Both disclose the Son as mediator between the uncreated Father and the agency model clarifies the relationship between divine unity and delegated function. The Father remains the only true God, while the Son, his image and agent, bears his authority. The Son is God in representation, not in self-origination. When Thomas exclaimed, "My Lord and my God," he was acknowledging the divine authority embodied in the agent, not confusing the agent with the principle. The same logic governs Old Testament appearances of the angel of WH, addressed as WH because he carries WH. Within this framework, Melchizedek's eternal priesthood reveals the Son's unbroken mediatorial role. Before creation, he acted as agent of the Father in the making of the worlds. During patriarchal history, he appeared as Melchizedek to bless Abraham. During the incarnation, he offered himself as sacrifice and rose again to intercede at the Father's right hand. In the eschaton, he will return to deliver up the kingdom to the Father, fulfilling the cycle of divine agency. Thus the Son's mission is compre. The narrative also integrates the Book of Enoch, where the Son of Man serves the head of days in judgment and redemption. Enoch's vision mirrors the Melchizedek figure, an exalted being who sits beside the Ancient of Days, receiving authority, glory, and dominion. The Qumran community's 11q Melchizedek scroll identifies Melchizedek as a heavenly redeemer who proclaims liberty and executes judgment. These intertestamental texts support the biblical conclusion. Melchizedek is no mortal priest-king but the div. The theological synthesis emerges clearly. Melchizedek is the eternal priesthood of the Son manifested before the incarnation. His lack of genealogy reflects his heavenly origin. His titles King of Righteousness and King of Peace describe his nature and function. His reception of tithes and offering of blessing signify his authority over the patriarchal covenant. In him, priesthood and kingship converge. In him, mediation and revelation unite. The conclusion affirms the coherence of this doctrine. The Melchizedek order is not symbolic but personal, not temporary but eternal. The Son has always been the mediator of divine will, the priest-king who stands between Creator and creation. The second Adam revelation explains his sinless humanity. The agency model explains his delegated authority. The Melchizedek revelation explains his eternal office. Together they form one continuous truth, that God, the Father, accomplishes all his purposes through. Melchizedek's priesthood is untransferable, unending, and unbroken. The same who blessed Abraham intercedes now for the redeemed. His office is confirmed by oath, sustained by endless life, and sealed by divine righteousness. He is both priest of El Elyon and King of Peace. His mediation spans eternity past to eternity future, revealing the perfect harmony of divine justice and mercy. In him, the mystery of godliness, God manifest through agency, is complete. The eternal priest-king remains at the right hand.